Hello. Oh, I'll just cut the waiting short. Hello, Ocha. Salam malam. Hello, Alex. Good evening. Uh, I was like, there's no, no, you didn't. No, just let's not even do that to begin with. Oh, yeah, no. No, we ain't doing that. Yeet. Okay. Wait, why does it say? Okay, phew. Okay. Let's go, shall we? Because I started late. I should probably. Where's my little guy? There we go. I have to move him. Boop. Okay. Boom. It's me. I know everyone is surprised. The streamer actually had a stream. How are you? I hope you had a great day today. Boom. I'm a bit melancholic. I don't know. I've been dealing with overthinking, anxiety, and all that jazz. Since yesterday. But you know, I'm trying to work on it. And yeah, I had a pretty good day. For those who didn't know, didn't read, didn't hear. So I was at a Elvis musical thingy-majig with my mom and grandma today. Thank you. And mind, I'm not. It'll get better. I hope so. Hello, Salo. And I've never listened much explicitly to Elvis, but I know some of some of the songs, of course. It was good. The person singing was good. The band was good. So the fun fact, or not fun fact, but interesting tidbit was, they had a quartet, and one of the quartet's singer was an original background singer for Elvis, back in the 70s and whatnot. I kept him company over during a lot of tours and songs and all that. Yeah, I thought that was really neat. Honestly, they could have just told us the person singing wasn't Elvis. I know. Weird that it wasn't Elvis. Who, died just a couple years ago. But yeah, it was good. It was good. The crowd was mostly the age, mostly women, the age of my grandma and mother. There were also men, and there were also some younger people, some even younger than me. But most of them were old ladies. It was quite funny to see how much life they suddenly had, some of them. It was cute. Anyways, shall we get back into it? We can still chat. Just, I started already an hour late, so we'll probably still go for 3 hours. That's dark. Old people are still alive. Yeah. Depends on how old they are. Let's go, vampire, yo. Okay, so last time. What do you mean? Elvis is still alive and well. Yeah, he definitely didn't die in the 70s at age 42. Or, well, I guess it's in the 80s because... No, 70s, yeah. But 80s. 1980s. No. 1970. I read that in the documentary Good Omens. 90s. No. You're just making things up. Anyways. So, last time our like vampire mom was like, hey, make some friends. It's good for you. And we're like, okay. So now we got a list of 4 potential friends, and they are Jezebel, a gangrel. She's pretty. I don't... D'Angelo. The Nosferatu, who has connections to Kadir, the sheriff. Then there is Hope, a Malkavian, who is, I guess, a Malkavian, and that's what she's got going for her. And then there's Agathon, a blood sorcerer. Oh, is that right? Ursi, would you like to be my friend? Oh, this is awkward. I thought we were friends, but I guess. Yes? My artist friend of mine really likes vampires to the point of us telling her that she's acute vampiritis. Do you also like vampires to that point, or? Well, I like vampires, but I like them more in the like, I'm curious sense. If I had to choose a like mythical being, I think some kind of shifter is more my vibe. Because I'm an introvert, so I would just die as a vampire. But like, you know, like something like werewolf is, I think we all know you like 4 bearded dwarves. Like druids, I love druids. Gotta love me druids. Druids are good. I mean, like, you know, just shapeshifters, like, you know, doppelgangers are cool. Like, the fact that you technically don't know what is how they really look like. Isn't a druid a plant dude? Well, druids in the traditional sense, I think, like, at least the ones in Europe, they come more from, like, Ireland, kind of-ish. Or, like... Not even necessarily also, like, they come more from the, like, you know, barbaric people, the tribal people, where druids are the people who, you know about herbs. They are healers, and, like, people who are in contact with the spirits of the land and the animals. But also wise people, but usually also, like, more reclusive. But, like, in fantasy, druids are shapeshifters. They can take on the forms of animals. So, druids are very cool. I like druids. You're very welcome. Mind, like, the whole based on history thing, I'm not 100% sure. It's more just, like, druiditis. I mean, I think if we just go by, like, natural, or, like, you know, most, what am I more, like, not torn, like, drawn to, and, like, what feuds would feel most, like, probably natural to me, would be, like, some kind of wizard. Like, some kind of, like, spellcaster type. Inflammation of the druid? So does he take shift into a fat? Excuse me, sir, but you have druiditis. Anyways, we were going for Tamika, my lovely, I just decided, future gangrel wife. Spellcaster? We like a social indeed, social distancing. You make your way through the Grand Army Plaza, passing the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Arc. You can't help but feel a tinge of nostalgia as you picture the place as you've seen it countless times, in broad daylight, teeming with life. You quickly get over it and pass through the northwest gate into Prospect Park. The park is its usual maze of unkempt foliage and dimly lit alleys. Silence hangs in the air, as it would at this time of night, and there doesn't appear to be any sign of kindred presence, because they don't want you to know that they're there. You start to suspect Langley's sources fed her a bunch of bullshit, but you're not willing to give up just yet. As you ponder your options, you hear footsteps coming from behind the line of trees. Quick, but evenly paced, most likely a late-night jogger. No vampire would take kindly to you feeding in their domain, but then again, perhaps you could kill two birds with one stone. No. You don't want to hunt in a Gangrel's territory. This is bad sports. You do not hunt in someone else's domain. Especially not the Gangrel one, especially not if you're trying to make friends. Seek out the Gangrel Haven. You head south, delving deeper into the less frequented section of the park. Passing a babbling stream, you make your way into the ravine. Home to some of the oldest trees in the park, it's the place to go when you want to get away from the crowd and enjoy some one-on-one time with nature. And that's during the day. At night, it's bound to be a Gangrel's delight. Making your way through the brush, you come across a rocky crevice hidden behind a wobbly chain-link fence. Have a good lurk. I'll BRB. In it, bruv. In it, bruv. You leap over the fence in a single bound, trying to land as quietly as kindredly possible. That's cute. The crevice looks deep enough for you to think twice about jumping in. Instead, you peer into the darkness below, listening intently. In a split second, the air by the side of your head swirls like a vortex. Driven by sheer instinct, you lean back, just as 5-finger-shaped razors cut through the darkness, missing your face by an inch. A clawed shadow jumps back a few paces, preparing to correct its mistake. You catch a glimpse of the assailant. Looks pretty animalistic. There we go. Alright, but he's not the one you're looking for. For starters, it's a he. Just as he's about to lunge at you, a snarl resounds from the bushes nearby, stopping your foe in their tracks. Out of the shadows emerges a young woman, baring her teeth ever so slightly. She walks over calmly, her eyes fixed on your assailant. Her presence is enough to make him reconsider attacking you, but not to withdraw completely. Glances over to her, puffing up his chest. Stay out of this, Tom. I don't know why you speak like... No, okay. I felt like I just offended someone by speaking like this. Stay out of this, Tam. I smelled her first. Tam, how about that? She raises an eyebrow, but remains silent. Her compatriot turns back towards you. You shouldn't have come here, girlie. I'm gonna fuck you up so bad. You'll be wearing your tongue as a necktie. Tamika looks at you, expectantly. So you can bark? Let's see if you can bite. Let's force him to flee. Run away, little puppy. Run away. Then again, wait. I feel we should do this. We're no fighter, though. That's why we want her to be our bodyguard and lover. I mean, friend. Maybe with benefits. Anyways, force him to flee. That's how we do. We're like, you know. God, but like, I mean, he's definitely more a fighter than we are. We'll just force him to flee. Your eyes find his, and your words become imperatives, grasping your victim's mind like a vice. You're getting ahead of yourself, little doggy. Go on now. Get. No. 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 Okay. Wait. Anyone angry? Anyone angry if we just load? Anyone mad if we load? I don't want her to be mad. I want her to like me. Can I just pretend that this never happened? Can I just? I mean, I'd have to go like, no. I no. Can you load? I mean, I can just force close the game and load again. I think. There is technically no loading. I don't want to lose my wife and force close it. It's not like the book where you can keep your finger on the old page. It is not technically, but, you know, I could accidentally slip and hit Alt F4. Maybe that's the load button, right? Right? Or do we go with the okay, I see you do it. I saw what I needed to, what I wanted to see. I swear I will try to not let it happen too often, but like literally I'm like, she will not like this. Instantly making the character I want. Take care of yourself, co-infected. Thank you. I will take a sip. I mean, I cannot save, but I can stretch and fix my position. Okay, load. Whew. Okay, part of me was also scared that the like that the save would be basically no. No! It auto-saved! My wife hates me. Time to restart. No. Dang it. Noticing what is happening, Tamika looks at you with anger and disbelief. Her friend staggers and shifts his weight, barely managing to stay on his feet. Fighting against the strain, he sinks his claws into the back of his head. A few drops of blood trickle from his nose. You true bitch. I'll rip off your tits and feed them to you. A fierce growl echoes across the alley, stopping the savage in his tracks. Tamika walks over to her comrade, her fangs glistening in the damp lamplight. She puts her hand on the side of his head, caressing his hair and tugging at his ear, as if she was scolding a puppy. She leans over and speaks in a voice that's firm, yet oddly affectionate. It's okay, Raoul. I'll handle it from here. The male gangrel looks at her with a mix of timidity and resentment. Then he turns back towards you. So that's how it's gonna be, huh? He yanks his head back and aims a gob of bloody spittle straight at your feet. Get fucked, both of you. Having said his piece, Rahul retreats into the shadow. Although, if you were to guess, he's likely to stay within earshot. With her companion gone, Tamika turns to you once more. What do you want? Straight to the point. I like that. Straight to the point. I like that. I don't care what you like. Now quit stalling. You have something to say? Say it. I'm looking for partners. I come with an offer. I'm willing to offer you my services, such as they are. All I would hope for in return is a fruitful, long-lasting relationship. So, you want to help me with something? Because you want to be my friend? That about right? That's right. Well, it sounded better the way I said it, but yeah, that's the gist of it. Uh-huh. She puts on a veneer of skepticism, but you can tell she's intrigued. That's very earnest of you. It's also kinda silly, but I think I'm okay with it. What I'm not okay with is putting my ass on the line and getting stabbed in the back for my trouble. So why exactly should I trust anything you say? This isn't like Jezebel. I don't expect you to trust me. I can make it worth your while. We can't. We really can't. We have zero connections. Except for our vampire mom. No one else. Well, I don't expect you to. Not yet. Indeed. I don't expect you to. Not yet, anyway. Good. Because my trust is earned, not given. Okay. Okay. We're making a comeback, everyone. We're making a comeback. We cooked. Probably. I think the last few choices were the right ones. Then let me earn it. A few nights of your time. That's all I ask. For a brief moment she stands there, motionless, looking straight into your eyes as if trying to size you up. Finally she looks away. It looks like she's come to a decision. Just so that we're clear. I don't trust you. I have no reason to. Frankly, you sound more lost than I am. The art style of the character is very... Right? The art in this game in general is really good, but like, she is just gorgeous. Still, there's something about you. The brush strokes. Yeah, it's like not in the face. It's much more rough, but it works really very likey. Yeah. You're adorable, Ocha. You look like you should reek of bullshit, but somehow you don't. So I'll give you a chance to prove yourself. I have some outstanding business to take care of. I'll let you know once that's done. Meet me here and we'll see what you're really made of. I'm a door and a ball. You're not adorable. You're adorable. You're cute, Ocha. There you go. Do you prefer me using the word cute? I'm also not above it to call you cute. And with that, Tamika disappears into the night. That went pretty well, all things considered. Wait, can we still... You need to rest, okay. I can't think of a homophone except for acute. You can also just accept the compliment. Have you thought about that? You notice something strange by the front door of your haven. A letter's been slipped under the door in a cream-colored, old-fashioned envelope. There's no name on it, but you know it's meant for you. Double it and give it to the next person. Well, you're the next person I'm seeing, so you're sweet, adorable, and very nice to talk to. I can keep this up all evening. And the more you try to double it, the more compliments you get, Ocha. Alex, please, chat, or Salo, whoever. By the way, guys, did you know that sometimes Ocha streams and is very calm and nice to talk to while she does? Has a very cute model, a very calming voice, a really sweetie, a real sweetie. Yeah, that's Ocha. And really good at art. You've seen her art for at least 130 streams. I'm grabbing a mirror. Opening the letter, it's clear it's been sent by someone incredibly old-fashioned, rich, or a fan of classic stationery. No normal person sends letters like this, like it's a cross or someone. What do you mean? What is a cross? Also, why do you need a mirror? So you can see how adorable you are. The note is short and terse, written in elegant, delicate handwriting. The fuck is terse? First time I hear the word terse. I'm putting a mirror so you can see yourself in it. Listen, I slightly try to learn how to take compliments, but you also have to do the same. Terse, excuse me, is sparing in the use of words and abrupt. Okay. I'm scared to speak up. Hi, scared to speak up. I'm dad. I would apologize, but no, you know. You're cordially invited to a rendezvous at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. I'll be waiting to make your acquaintance tomorrow night. Look for me closer to God. Thank you for speaking up anyway. There's no other information. It looks like you have a mysterious invitation for the following night. I guess we do. We need to feed. And oh, who are you? Oh. Ooh, okay. Do we go to the mysterious person? We also received a scrap of paper. Upon returning to your haven, you find a small scrap of paper lying on your windowsill. Need a favor. If you're still up for it, come meet me in Prospect. Damn. Do we go with wife, or do we go with mysterious stranger, or do we go with blood sorcerer? I don't know if I can choose multiple people. I don't want to leave her hanging. But also we need blood. We need to feast. Okay, we wanna go to our wife, and then we can go to Faith and Myth, I guess. Whoever that is. No, he's smoking. I don't like him. Once again, you cross the gate of Prospect Park and head straight to where you last saw the feral duo. Minutes pass. Finding no sign of Tamika, you begin to worry that something might have happened to her. Suddenly you hear rustling coming from the nearby bushes. And it's not the stray cat kind of rustling either. Whoever's hiding in those bushes. Whoever's hiding in those bushes better be ready to get their ass whooped. Rustling stops, if only for a second. Suddenly the bushes part and Raoul walks out, desperately trying to look confident. Who said I was hiding? Who said I was hiding? Listen, I wanted to have a word before Tam gets here. She seems to like you for whatever strange reason, but the way I see it, you're a nuisance at best. At worst, you're a threat. You don't like me. Got it? I get it. You don't like me. Forgive me if I don't lose any sleep over it. You should. You should be. Because when I don't like someone, I do something about it. And it's usually not pleasant. Tamika is my sister, in every sense of the word that counts. Anything happens to her that I find even remotely your fault, I'm coming after you. The meme of that man pointing at himself. Wait. Why? What? It's like, me? Is that clear? Well, I don't think she needs a babysitter. She doesn't need a babysitter. That one. Yeah. Tamika seems pretty capable. Don't think she needs you babysitting her. Oh, she's plenty capable. Given the opportunity, she'll rip your guts out if you cross her. What I'm saying is, if anything happens to Tamika, I'm holding you accountable. All of a sudden the sound of footsteps reaches your ears. It's just faint enough to not be ostentatious, but still loud enough to hear. You can tell that who's ever approaching wants to make their presence known. Both you and Raoul turn just in time to see Tamika emerge from behind an old sycamore tree. It's hard to tell just how long she's been listening in on your conversation. In any case, she walks up and speaks, addressing no one particular. Did I miss anything? Nothing important. Nothing too important. We were just having a chat. Where are you now? She gives Raoul a scornful look, like she's about to rub his nose in his own crap. What about? Nothing. You know where to look for me, Tam. Sure do. And with that, Raoul takes his leave. Tamika waits in silence, just long enough to make sure he can no longer hear her, and addresses you. I have a favor to ask. What is it? Okay, what is it? I have an errand to run. I was hoping you'd come with me. There's a place east of here. It's a short walk. We should be back in about 2, maybe 3 hours. 3 hours? You call that short? I mean, to be fair, we should be back, so it's like, if it's an errand, like maybe like 1 hour there, 1 hour back, or like 1.5 hours there. Wait, we're walking? 3 hours, you call that short? 3 hours, huh? You call that a short walk? Sorry, I'm used to much longer distances than that. I forgot, not everyone is. You think you can handle it? Should I expect trouble? Sounds kinda shady. Should I expect trouble? You should always expect trouble. Lady never skipped a leg day, no. But I'm not planning to start any. And so, you two head towards the parking lot, accompanied by Tamika and a lot of unanswered questions. Following Tamika's directions, you finally arrive at the Evergreen Cemetery, one of the oldest burying grounds in Brooklyn. You enter through the southwestern gate and follow your companion through the sea of tombstones. It's a nice enough place as far as graveyards go, much less homogenized than the usual flat field littered with identical markers. Also, let me just quickly... No, not here. Because I'm not sure right now, again, what the letter said. I'm gonna see if I can read it again. Does it? No. No, it doesn't tell me the letter. Well, shit. Tamika confident is something about like get closer to God and like something like that. And like you're invited. Tamika confidently presses on, swerving and weaving along a pre-programmed path. It's clear that she's been here more than a few times. Finally, she makes a sharp left, takes a few more steps down a gravel walkway, coming to a sudden stop in front of a modest headstone. The inscription reads, Lucas Santiago, beloved sister and daughter, born 1991, taken from us too soon. The letter said that quesadillas are just sandwiches with a dodgy name. Also, I feel like that's not how you spell quesadillas. But I'm not sure, honestly. No, I think there should be an E. With her eyes fixed on the gravesite, she lets out an absent-minded utterance. I need a moment, alone. Not long. 5 minutes at the most. You look around and search for a good spot to wait for her and pass the time. At the far end of the nearby lawn, you notice a lone bench situated under a weeping willow. Suddenly you hear voices, distant, but slowly approaching. Judging by the tone and timbre, you're guessing it's a couple of teenagers, out to get their late-night kicks among the dearly departed. It's not, but my autocorrect didn't come up with anything either. Might be a good chance to feed, then again you could just pass the time walking around the area. It's actually quite nice in the dark and somber kind of a way. Oh no, we do need to feed. Then again, like, weirdly enough, we don't have a red outline, but we haven't fed in a while. We need to feed. Oh, but do we like teenagers? That's the question. Do we like teenager blood? You should use Google, because Google knows everything. Like, we're a Ventru, so we will not like every feeding option. Do we like teenager blood? I'll wear it on that bench by the tree. I'll take a walk. Don't take too long. I feel we need to feed. Let's eat some teenagers. Take your time. I'll go grab myself a drink. I need help, Urs. Need to see a specialist. I keep restarting Wrath of the new character. I compelled. I feel there is no specialist for that. I don't think there's any helping you. Just do it quietly. I don't want any trouble. Not here. You leave Tamika alone and follow the voices. Soon enough you come upon a couple in the late teens. Judging by their thick eyeliner and their clothes consisting mostly of black leather and lace, you'd venture a guess that they love nothing more than to meet an actual vampire. Hello, Lofty. Wait, here's a joke. What is the name of Dracula's gay son? Alucard. You're welcome. I'm very proud that I only restarted twice. Argmabacula. Wait, does that mean Dracula? Is like a does it mean he's a sadist who's like into BDSM because he likes to drag you? Just saying, if we go by that logic, I thought it was drag. No, that is the drag son. That is the drag son of Dracula. Dragula. Arch enemy Bacula. Arch my Bacula. I see. Yeah. Wait, archer with haste, maybe grenades. Where do you get the grenades from as an archer? Was thinking a Nolly where Tiger Shifter run, where I play as Sabretooth from X-Men. I mean, that sounds... Didn't you start a Where Tiger Shifter already? Why you say it all silly? What do you mean? Jack got many sons, huh? I mean, you know, if you live in eternity, it's Arch... I know. Arch my Becula. I can see it. People can see it. I'm just reading it aloud. You're happy to oblige. As you emerge from the shadows, you can feel all your intent... Wait. You can feel your all intensify. The boy and the girl watch you, completely awestruck, waiting for you to approach. Yeah, then discovered Sable Marine is a thing. So I can make a paladin with 1 level dip with a freaking griffin mount. I mean, you know, it's true. But yeah, how was your day, silly? My day was okay. I've been kind of being poopy mentally. Kind of like self-inflicted. But I went to a Elvis musical show thingy with my mom and grandma in the afternoon till the evening. Had like some good simple dinner. Baked camembert on toast with strawberry yam, and before that, while we were waiting, we had some leftover honey melon and ham, which is very good on warm days because it gives you salt and you know, it's cool and it's tasty, and it also gives you liquids from the water. Honey melon. It is lofty. It is indeed lofty. The slightest gesture is enough to shoo the boy away. He sits on a nearby bench and watches, completely enamored as your lips press against the girl's neck. It's a weird sensation to feel actual, honest-to-God pride in a victim's blood. But here you are. She's glad to have been chosen in this way. You take one look in the boy's dark brown eyes to realize he's hoping for your attention too. Something about him doesn't feel right to you, though. Oh no, we don't like his blood. We only want his girlfriend. Understandably. Instead, you decide that it's a good idea for both of them to forget the whole affair. Grabbing their attention, you focus your newly refreshed blood and will their minds to race the last few minutes. Damn, we're so good. Why is there still blood? We just fed. Finally, you get back to the tree and find Tamika sitting on the bench. Without a word, you sit next to her. You look over to her, doing your best not to stare. She looks down, crossing her arms and putting her hands on her shoulders. In an instant, the ferocious savage disappears, replaced by a vulnerable young woman. I think I'm done. You feel like sharing? You shouldn't have used your vampire powers to erase their memories then. I mean, I think the thing is, like, with the female, it might have worked, but, like, since her boyfriend was just watching, like, we needed to erase his memories. So, yeah, you know. You feel like sharing. No, but I guess I owe you an explanation. She looks away. You can tell she's struggling to open up to you, so you remain silent, trying not to make her uncomfortable. I was embraced not far from here, in this cemetery. A fitting spot, I suppose. It was close to a decade ago. I'd been on the road for a couple years at that point, hitchhiking from one town to another. New York was supposed to be just another stop. And then I met Jezebel. She was strong, smart, independent, seemed like someone I could trust, someone I could get close to. She never made me feel inadequate or ashamed, and she could hold her own in a fistfight too. Funny thing though, she only wanted to meet during nighttime. I didn't think much of it, even came up with excuses for her, busy, eccentric, whatever worked. Until one night, she sank her teeth into my neck. She's still around? At least you knew your sire. No, this is her moment. She sounds like quite a gal. She's still around? Keep using the past tense. I take it she's no longer around? No. She's not dead, if that's what you're asking. At least not that I know of. She left soon after turning me. I think the Conclave of Prague really shook her up. The Conclave of Prague? Wait, the Conclave of what now? Prague. It's a city in Central Europe. It was supposed to be neutral ground, a good place to discuss politics and strategy. It ended up almost turning into a civil war. Next thing you know, the Anarchs were expunged from the Camarilla. All they had done for a kind, the blood they spilled, it didn't amount to a thing. I can't blame Jezebel for feeling betrayed. But yeah, even though I still had Raoul and Luca, I was still furious and terrified. Luca died a few years later. Operation Lights Out, they called it. It was a coordinated assault by the Second Inquisition, a genocide by any other name. Second Inquisition, often abbreviated as S1, a collective name among vampires for the recent coordinated efforts of intelligence agencies to combat the kindred as if they were a terrorist threat. Few individual agents understand what they are fighting, and the intra-agency collaboration codename First Light places enormous import on keeping their operations secret and disguised as ordinary anti-terrorist actions. Okay. Our family got together, bought up a plot, buried an empty cask. I guess they wanted some closure. Can't fault them for that. Even though she's not really here, I like to come and visit from time to time. It reminds me of who I am. Keeps me in check. Keeps the beast at bay. Also, this being the place of my embrace, you have to appreciate that level of irony. She straightens up and looks at you as if something just occurred to her. Sorry, I don't know what came over me. One minute I'm all grunts and stares, the next I'm giving you my biography. I guess I'm just tired of being scared. Alone. You don't have to be alone. You're looking for a place to belong. In all the wrong places, it seems. At this point, I'm just looking for something to believe in. Someone I could give a damn about. If you marry me, I can give you both a place to belong and someone to believe in. You could also give a damn about me. Wink wink, wonk wonk. I feel we've known her. This is the second night. Saying you have me is like, I feel that's something Iers would say. Is this another harem game? I don't know. Also, what do you mean another harem game? Oh, because of date everything. The Camarilla has its merits. The Anarchs cherish freedom. You have Raoul. No, let's just say you have me. You got me. For whatever it's worth. She looks at you. Her mouth drops open ever so slightly. You can tell she wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I do, don't I? Don't forget only cans. How could I ever? I still have it on my PC even. Hey, guess what? 42 and a half. You open your mouth, but before you can make a sound, Tomika motions at you to keep quiet. She lifts her head and sniffs at the air. Her ears perk up, and her eyes widen. Suddenly, she pushes you with all her strength, sending you flying off the bench. Before you even hit the ground, an immense shape flies into view and smashes down into the bench, splintering it into pieces. With the blood surging through your veins, you pounce onto your feet. You look at the mass of fur and muscles that just nearly pulverize you. The creature rears its head, gives you the ranged stare. Then it turns to Tomika. She seems utterly terrified, frozen in place, as if she literally just saw a ghost. You notice the creature shifts its weight, as if preparing to pounce. That's the length of time in seconds. A nice, solid piss is. 42 and a half? Okay. We want her to trust us, and we just say she can rely on us. We will use our powers. Fortitude. Shoot Tomika. Feeling your body strengthen with inhuman resilience, you jump in front of the beastly assailant, breaking the force of his attack. Still, the sheer weight of the creature slams you into the ground. If it wasn't for your supernatural endurance, you're pretty sure your spine would turn to powder. Suddenly, the beast lets out a pained roar. In a flash of consciousness, you see Tomika hunched atop the monster's shoulders. Her claws plunged into its eye sockets. But no, Salo has bed. Nice. Floundering like a fish out of water, the monster finally manages to shake the feral Valkyrie off his back. Fuck you for using big words. The creature then turns towards you. For a second or two, it moves its mouth awkwardly, as if trying to remember how to form words. Stay out my ground. The creature runs off towards a nearby clearing, when all of a sudden a gunshot sends it tumbling onto the ground. A group of well-armed men in body armor emerges from the shadow in an orderly formation and move in closer around the creature. Retreat and hide. They sound like the Second Inquisition. Not sure what to make of what's happening, you figure it's best to get out of sight. As you start backing away into the nearby bushes, you notice Tomika following your lead. From the relative safety of the thick foliage, you watch in silence as the group of armed men subdue the creature using steel nets and kettle prods. In the corner of your eye, you can catch Tomika looking away, as if she finds this whole spectacle somehow distasteful. It does sound distasteful. What do you mean? As if she finds it distasteful. The fuck? People are catching someone with steel nets and kettle prongs. She speaks under her breath, her voice shaking. Can we get out of here? You see no reason to object. The walk back turns out to be quite a somber experience. You both walk in silence. The city a blur of lights and cars carrying by. You look over to Tomika. She seems lost in her thoughts. Finally, you decide to break the silence. Are you gonna be alright? That thing back there really spooked you. I don't know. She catches herself and quickly attempts to hide her vulnerability. Yeah, I think so. It's just that I've always heard stories about the Scarred One. Never thought I'd actually run into him. The Scarred One? Why are you getting spooked? She was getting spooked. Because we were, like, attacked by a dude. Because we were in his, like, hunting ground. In his domain. The Scarred One? So give me a second. I will rustle. So I will mute and then rustle. Okay, I opened my snack package. The Scarred One? That's the only no he's known by. Maybe she could tie one of her braids across her eyes, like a blindfold? I feel that's not too much. But I feel that also doesn't help, because then she cannot see. It's a cautionary tale for young Gangrel. It's what happens when you let the beast take over. I always figured him to be more of a metaphor. Seeing him in a real life. It's like if a Christian just happened to run into Judas Iscariot one day. What kind of snacks? Do you know those, like, I don't know, in our case they're like pink, white and yellow marshmallow things? Can Salo have one? If Salo comes by before I finish the package? Yes. If not, they're all mine. And seeing him hunted down by the SI, I don't know what to think. I don't even know where to start thinking. I probably know the answer to this, but ghosts or werewolves? In which regard? Like, just like, which do I prefer more? Shit, I got until end of stream to get to Germany. Yeah. Yeah. God, I feel it very much depends on, like, the type of ghost, because there's so many different, like, versions of ghosts. I still think werewolf, even if it comes with the caveat of not being able to control your transformation, I still think werewolves. Ghosts have their advantages, but I don't know, werewolves are just, you know, werewolves. Deciding to give her some space, we spent the rest of the walk in silence. White curtain with holes for face coats. No. I don't mean like how they look, but more like, can they interact with like the real world in any way? Or are you literally just incorporeal and you just have to kind of like float around? And sometimes people see you, I guess, and sometimes they don't. In which case, I guess the only good thing you have is you can go through walls. Imagine Casper. Oh. I guess in that case, like, they're good ghosts. Like, good ghosts in, like, what they can do. Because they can interact with, like, things, but they can also go through walls. They're incorporeal. They can speak. They can become invisible, but also visible. I think still werewolf. Even... Okay, the question is, does the werewolf know he's a werewolf? And in wolf form, are they conscious? Or are they just, like, overtaken by the beast in themselves? Yes. So they are conscious. They remember. Yeah, werewolf. Partially also because werewolf means I can still eat. Wait, dictionary definition from Oxford Languages. Learn more adjectives not composed of matter, having no material existence. What's the character from Monster High again? I never watched Monster High. Sully? The wolf one? I never watched Monster High. Wait. I even confused Monster High with Monster University from Monsters Inc. Yeah, I never watched Monster High. Jerome? Claudine? Oh no, really? That's certainly a name. Soon enough, the familiar tree line of the Prospect Park comes into view. You stop by the entrance near to Tamika's haven. She keeps walking, without so much as a word or glance in your direction. Monsters Inc. was a classic. It was. Is it weird that I liked Randall? I think his name was. The evil lizard. I liked his design. I thought he was cool. Much cooler than Sully and what's his butt? The one-eyed guy. This is for design. Ah, this for design, not like the ability and stuff. Yeah, I think werewolf. Like, I think werewolf might be more interesting because, like, as you said, like ghost is kind of like, yeah, like throw a blanket over someone, like, which, you know, like can be fun, but I feel like werewolf, especially. No, I assume I know what it's for. You know, who doesn't like to have some, like, wolf ears and, like, something like that, maybe. Thanks for answering, of course, always. The long, skinny dude? If you mean Randall? Yeah, the, like, lizard, the evil guy. She stops after several paces and turns back towards you. Make a hairy ghost with anger management issues problem solved. Ghost wolf. Where ghost wolf? I'm sorry. Thank you for coming with me, but now I have a lot of shit to figure out. Once I do, I'll let you know. And with that, she disappears among the trees. Seeing no point in sticking around, you take your leave. Okay, that was half my night. Okay, so we do have two things. Ghost Mom and Werewolf Dad made it. Are we stalling to make sure Salo can get snacks? I don't think Salo has till the end of stream, by the way that I'm consuming these. They're basically just sugar and air. Which means I can eat them easy. What are they made of? Wait. So, yeah, so the main ingredients is like fructose syrup. Where's the... There has to be an English one, right? It's like German, French, Dutch, Portuguese, and Polish. These are certainly choices, hey? But yeah, like, glucose, fructose, syrup, water, no, sugar, water, dextrose, cornstarch, pig gelatine, aroma, coloring. That's it. There's literally three types of sugars in there. Water. Jesus Christ. I'm being held back at security. Well, sucks. Sucks to suck. Okay, we could go here, because we got the invitation, but hear me out. Glucose, sucrose, and dextrose all in one. No, so it's it's glucose, it's glucose, fructose, syrup, and then sugar, and then dextrose. What the fuck are you eating? Marshmallows. What are you... Okay, but like, so this guy might be super mysterious, but he smokes, so I don't like him. I will ignore him. Also, we do not follow just random strangers' invitations if they don't tell us details. I think... Wait, does anyone remember the order that we said? Did we say first Blood Wizard, or did we say first, the Nosferatu, so we can crawl up the ass of Kadir? Wait, does Werewolf have 2 ears? I mean... no, I don't think so. Because, like, they have a wolf form, and then they have a human form. They have only one pair of I mean, they have one pair of ears, so they have 2 ears. Marshmallow. But like, as a wolf, they also just have, you know... Wait. Since you asked, though... Wait. I have to show something. I have to show something. Just because I love how freaking cursed it is. So... You all know cat girls, right? I assume you all know cat girls. Wait, did I delete it for some reason? Or is it here? It is here, okay. Okay, so you all know cat girls, right? Yeah, you do. Okay, good. So let's go through this one, like, step by step, right? So, like, these are different versions of, like, cat girls that you can have, right? So you can have human and cat ears, basically what we just talked about, right? Like 2 pairs of ears. You can have only cat ears. Or you can cover them up. And, you know, just, is there a second pair of ears? We don't know. Okay. Then, there are my favorite ones. It's getting better. Then... then... we can have cat ears on the side. Or human ears on top. Or we can have a cat with human ears. Okay. You think... Stop? No. We're not done yet. But like, okay, you're thinking, like, you know, this is already kind of fucked up. But what if we take it a step closer, like, further? What if cat with human ears on the side, but also cat ears on top? Or we switch the order on the cat, so human ears on top, cat ears on the side. Or how about we just have 4 human ears? 2 on top, 2 on the side. I'm genuinely terrified. I'm so sorry. We're almost done. We're almost done. Because, but wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. There's now also the cat girl with 4 pairs of cat ears. There is the ear with 4 cats with human ears. And then there's the biblically accurate cat girl. I did not consent to knowing this existed. I'm sorry, but also I'm not, because I love this. Fuck off. I love this. I love it. Okay, we will go to make friends with D'Angelo, who has connections. This will show up on the VOD. Oh, I know. I know. I'm okay with that. And I can never look at Professor Lupin again. But yeah, we will go to D'Angelo because he is friends with Kadir, or at least does stuff for Kadir, so we will go visit him. And if we then still get to choose one, we will go for the Blood Mage. Gumshoe in the dark. As you make your way down Clinton Street, the incessant hum of traffic gives way to the ominous silence of the waterfront. You stop to take in the familiar bouquet of the Hudson, made all the more potent by your recent sharpened senses. The irony is, this isn't even the strangest thing that's been in the pit. Ryan. Listen, we had a Shiba Reed can of soda and all other kinds of different like sodas, so I feel the like biblically accurate cat girl, the least of our problems. Across the basin, the Red Hook grain terminal rears its rusty frame, once a bustling industrial area. Please don't remind me. What do you mean? Now a sleeping giant splayed out on the riverbank, forgotten, abandoned. Conveniently so, especially for one of the hidden. Keeping to the shadows, you sneak closer to the contraption. No. What did I read? That's not even a cat girl. That's just biblically accurate cat. True. True. Keeping to the shadows, you sneak closer to the dilapidated complex, making your way past hole-ridden silos and wobbly chain-link fences. By the time you reach the entrance to the main building, you can almost feel the rust particles making themselves cozy at the back of your throat. Not getting your hopes up, you give the door a slight nudge. To your surprise, it gives almost instantly. Looks like someone's been using it recently. Once inside, you find yourself in a large empty hall. Looking around, you can almost picture it back in its heyday, stacked to the rafters with heavy machinery. You notice a set of stairs leading up to a mezzanine, most likely an office space. And then you see it, a faint light coming from one of the upper rooms. Looks like you're in luck. Quietly, with bated breath, you climb the steps and approach the dim-lit room. The door creaks open, revealing what looks like an old-timey detective's office, complete with crooked window blinds, an overflowing ashtray, and paper scattered across a wooden desk. Wait. Before I continue this... Ocha! Do you want to see? And I don't know if Salo saw it. Do you want to see what your friend drew for me? The first of the two things that I will get from your friend. Yeah. Boom! I see you. Hell yeah. Well. It's so pretty. Your banner, yeah. Is Salo allowed to see? Salo is also allowed to see, yes. It does look sexy as fuck, doesn't it? They did really well. Buy her art, guys. Yeah. If you're looking for art, it's like, well, I mean, I also was like VGen. Wait, vgen.co. What are these white diamonds? Like light reflections? I assume. .co, I think. Yeah. This is them. Really, really great art. Super happy. I'm also currently having her commissioned for a full body drawing. And another Indonesian artist for a, I think effectively it's 3/4, who they are by far the cutest but most, like, I feel anxious and nervous artist I've ever worked with. I feel so bad for them because they wrote me today and I was like away and I didn't want to look like on my phone. It was great. Anyway, hopefully it's not rude, but Salo thinks her prices. Oh, they are. I told her and I told Ocha. I think you're the first client she got on Vision. Oh, let's go! Yeah. I mean, your friend hasn't... I think your friend hasn't said, like... wasn't that scary, but, like, the other one was like... Hey, I have someone else's commission I work on right now. I hope that's okay. I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, just take your time. And then, like... They were like on the 15th, they were like, hey, so like my last commission is finished, I will start yours now. The next day, they're like, sorry for making you wait, here's the progress. I'm like, what do you mean making me wait? And I've been getting updates multiple times a day. They're very adorable. Your friend is very, very sweet. He's just like very, very, very kind and very sweet. I just decided to give her more money. I just decided to give her more money because I can. She is, yeah. You have good friends, Ocha. You're a good bean and you have good friends. From what I gather so far. The door creaks open. We read that. And poor girl is overworked by her internship and college project. No. So imagine. And still does commissions? Jesus Christ. She's insane. But that makes it even... It makes me even happier that I get to support her. You a good, sweet friend to Heart. I don't know who Heart is, but I'm glad that I can be a good and sweet friend to Heart. But it's certainly sometimes difficult to, you know, accept. Some people think or say that, listen, you misspelled too, so the opportunity was there. Listen, the opportunity was there. I'm just saying. No, I accept it and I appreciate it. It's just, you know, especially right now, it's difficult to see sometimes, but I appreciate it, and I know you mean it. Suddenly it hits you, that nagging feeling. This is all too convenient, too inviting. Before you can react, the trap is already sprung. A plume of cigar smoke wafts over your shoulder. The barrel of a gun rubs against your spine. A raspy voice whispers in your ear. Let me guess. Took a wrong turn at the third silo. Attempt to talk down the assailant. You decide to play along, raising your arms slowly. You weigh your next words carefully. You're pretty sure a bullet to the back wouldn't kill you, but it doesn't sound too pleasant either. So this isn't Bloodsuckers Anonymous? Yes, is this one, please? You mean this isn't Bloodsuckers Anonymous? A noise rattled behind your head like someone shook a can full of gravel. Might have been a chuckle, but your guess is as good as anyone's.
Wise guy, huh? Lucky for you, I have a soft spot for wise guys. So I'll give you a chance to explain yourself.
In a strange interplay of light and shadow, the stranger reappears behind his desk. Seeing him in his full, for lack of a better word, glory, you can't help but smirk. This is the dreaded Nosferatu. The way Sophie described them, you were expecting some grotesque monstrosity, but this guy? The clothes, the swagger, the hard-boiled detective routine? It all comes across as a bad joke. Still, when it comes to appearance, his lineage is undeniable. A vampire's bloodline. The kindred sire, etc. An archaic term. From 30 feet away, he could probably pass for a bum with a nasty skin condition. From 5 feet away, he looks like something made to be seen from 30 feet. Damn. Damn. Okay. Wow. Savage. Oh my god, that's such a good... Oh, that's such a good burn, though. Oh my god. I love this one. That's great. Jeez. From 5 feet away, he looks like something made to be seen from 30... Ah! Someone get the aloe vera. Salo has to bedtime. Salo has to leave at 7:30 tomorrow. And we'll be home at 8:45. Jeez. Have a good night, Salo. Sweet dreams. Mwah. Take care of yourself and thank you for dropping by. I'm not even gonna ask what time it is for you, Ocha. I think you're like... What? Kiss for free? Well, because Salo going to bed. If you're going to bed, you get a kiss. Don't think. It's okay. I won't think. He leans back in his chair, casually pointing his gun at you.
So, what brings you to my humble office?
I'm looking for a Nosferatu. I'm guessing you're it.
Now that's some detective work. What tipped you off? The glowing complexion.
He pauses to peel a flake of dead skin off his cheek.
Or the $1 million smile.
He smiles at you, showing off a set of gums that would make a cadaver dry heave. Jesus Christ! My God! The narrator's fucking savage. Damn! I can see why Kadir keeps you. Charming. I can see why Kadir keeps you around. His expression sours.
Not a name you want to casually toss around, kid. But hey, I get it. You're not some random schmuck who wanders in here off the street. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Name's D'Angelo. Gin to my friends. So you can call me D'Angelo.
Okay, yeah. I like him. I like him a lot. That's good. Like, they hate this. My friends call me this, so please call me something else.
Who I work for is less important. What I'm working on, however.
I know. I'm here to help. The Red Hood murders. I know. I want to help you catch the killers. His moldy lips twist into a smile.
Do you now?
D'Angelo lowers his shades. For a few seconds he sits motionless with his eyes fixed on yours. Suddenly he raises his gun, almost making you flinch. Almost. Then he twirls it into his shoulder holster in a flashy display that definitely looks like it was practiced. A lot. In front of a mirror. You see the Nosferatu's lips move, but the quiet mumbling clearly isn't meant for your ears. Listening in, you're able to catch snippets of his monologue.
Sure, they seem to care. What was the end game? What was their hango? Everybody's got one. Even if they pretend like they don't. Especially then. What the hell? Maybe this town finally got to me.
He pauses, sticks a fresh cigar between his crooked teeth.
Maybe a good leap of faith is just what the doctor ordered.
Offer him a light, sure. As he reaches into his pocket, you flash a lit lighter in front of his eyes. Before his eyes. Or maybe you could just use a healthy dose of unhealthy. For a split... Why did he have to smoke, though? For split seconds, he gives you a puzzled look. Then, he leans over your lighter, puffing on the cig as it catches fire. A wry smile comes back to his lips. But with him, at least, we know what we got, like, out of it.
I like you, kid. You might look like a used car salesman, but there's just something about you. Tell you what, I was just about to head back to the crime scene. Take a look around, refresh my notes. You can tag along if you want to. Could use an assistant, someone to take notes and make wild assumptions for me to shoot down. Who knows, if you're any good, I might consider making this a long-term arrangement.
What are we waiting for?
Just one more thing. You still got me at a disadvantage here. Seems like you've done some digging on me, but with you, I've barely scratched the surface. You catch my drift? So answer me this. Who was it that sent you into my neck of the woods? Or in layman terms, who do you work for?
You'll find out anyways. Especially because we were the big recent, like, drama. Sophie Langley. For the first time since you got here, the Nosferatu adopts a look of genuine surprise. His eyes wander for a moment, finally giving way to a crooked smile.
So you're the one, huh? The fledgling the Toreador dame spared? Yeah, that would make sense. Didn't think she'd appreciate you throwing her name around. Thanks for being upfront, kid.
One blink is enough for you to miss D'Angelo vanishing from his chair. Just when you're about to look around, he reappears right next to you. Up close, his smile is even more unnerving.
Alright, moonlight's burning, let's get cracking.
With a certain fascination, he watched D'Angelo stumble his way across West Brooklyn. Oddly animated, incessantly scratching his face and neck, stopping every once in a while for a bout of mumbling narration, is most certainly a sight to behold. Still, he seems to be getting around okay, and you take particularly note of the fact that he seems to be choosing the darker, less frequented streets. There's definitely a method to his madness. Eventually, your leprous guide takes a sudden turn off of Van Brunt Street, and into a particularly dingy alleyway. The torn pieces of yellow police tape are a dead giveaway. This has to be the place.
Well, here we are. Time for you to earn your stripes. This is where they found him. Drained dry, not a drop of blood in him. Before you ask, no, I didn't get to see the bodies, so I don't know if there were any bite marks. So, what can you tell me?
We take a moment to examine the crime scene. Judging by the chalk outline on the pavement, the man was killed recently. Curiously, there doesn't appear to be a trace of blood or viscera. And you know, the city's cleanup crew isn't that fast or that thorough. Looking up, you notice a spray-painted sign on the wall. It reads, "The blood speaks," in big, crooked letters. You look at D'Angelo. The Nosferatu gives you an expecting look. How come there's no blood? Did you say the victim was drained dry? Because I don't see a trace of blood anywhere.
Good eye, kid. It's the details that count. Given that the murder was committed right here and the victim didn't make a sound, we can therefore conclude that...
Oh. I mean, the killer most likely was a kindred. Killer was a kindred.
Bingo! Only kindred could drain a human this quickly, this quietly. Not just any kindred. Take a look at that graffiti. What do you think it means?
What was the graffiti? God, my memory, instantly forgot everything. The blood speaks in big crooked letters. Seem desperate? Does it seem desperate? It seems to throw us off. Maybe? Nothing. It's meant to throw us off.
Nah, I can see why you'd think that, but look at how crooked the letters are.
Wait, were we told it was crooked? Oh yeah, in big crooked letters, I guess, so that's why desperate. I only read, looked at the, message itself.
Barely legible. You can't fake something like that.
No, I mean, you certainly can.
Someone was very nervous, very scared. It definitely meant something to them. Tell me, if you were to guess, which clan would you say our killer belongs to?
Malkavian, probably. Probably Malkavian. Maybe it's a Malkavian serial killer. They're pretty nuts, right?
Nah, kid, the Moonies can be a bit playful, but there's a method to their madness. Leaves a certain aftertaste. This right here just reeks of desperation. I might be jumping to conclusions, but my money's on the Thin Bloods.
Technically, we never heard of Thin Bloods, so it would have been weird for us to say Thin Bloods. Vampires with blood so diluted they retain many human traits. The Thin Bloods are invariably clanless, survivors of the last decades of pogroms, prejudice, and ostracization. Their numbers now swell. Their messy street alchemy and ability to pass as humans make them uniquely suited to thrive outside kindred society and make their own fate in the postmodern nights. The Thin Bloods, blooded can be of any mortal origin and are not affected by their parent clan's curse, nor by their preference in the same degree as their sire. In 2009, the Inner Circle of the Camarilla issued an edict that all thin-blooded must be branded or tattooed with the mark of a crescent moon, inked by a Tremere tattoo artist or scorched with a beam of sunlight. The brand is irreversible. Any Kunitsu view the Thin Bloods as a threat to their masquerade, weaklings, runoffs, abortions, and will destroy them if given the chance. Those who don't despise Thin Bloods tend to call them the Young Ones, Chameleons, or Duskborns. I'm not a fan of the branding a certain group of people, but hey, I see where they got the inspiration from. Yeah. He pauses, spits out the mangled remains of a cigar.
Shit. Looks like we're gonna have to pay Larson a visit.
Who? Who's Larson?
Jeez, you really are new to this, aren't you? Larson, isn't Robert Larson, the thin blood primogen? Not sure if he knows who the killer is, but he could probably make an educated guess. In any case, we'd be doing him a favor if it turns out one of his is violating the Masquerade. Would put him in a hell of an awkward position. And I mean shitting upside down awkward. It's the kind of weakness the other primogen would love to exploit. His position in the council is bad as it is.
He pauses for a moment and mumbles to himself, but it's too quiet for you to make out. Finally, he lights up a fresh cigar. He takes a puff and lets the smoke escape through his crooked smile.
Alright, kid. Let's get over with it.
Compared to the industrial ugliness of Red Hook, Sterling Place is quite a change of scenery. The heavily gentrified and pleasantly dull residential area emanates the sort of peaceful apathy that rich hipsters scoff at and blue-collar workers dream of. All of a sudden, the Nosferatu stops. It almost seems like he was taking a deep breath, steeling himself for things to come.
Is this the place?
With that, he points to a surprisingly nice-looking two-story house. The place is almost completely dark. You notice a dim light shining through the curtains of an upper-story window. It's probably safe to assume that the head of the family is working late, especially if the head of the family happens to be a vampire.
Okay, kid. Gotta be gentle about this. We're talking velvet gloves, soft cushions. You rang my lord, gentle. We need to get Larson out here without making a fuss or letting his family see us. If we blow this, he'll shut down like a speakeasy. The fuck? On raid night. Trust me, I know.
Sounds like you two have some history.
Sounds about right, but that's a story for another night. Right now, let's stick to why we're here. Tell you what, how about you take the lead on this one? I'm curious to see how you handle it.
You take a step back and look around the area. The lit-up window seems like a safe bet. Now it's just a matter of getting Larson's attention. His and no one else's. So the idea is that we want his attention without making a fuss or letting his family see us. Okay, so we cannot just ring and be like, "Hi, we're a friend." As you're trying to come up with a viable strategy, you are suddenly startled by a loud noise. It takes you a second to identify the sound as a dog barking. It doesn't take you long to figure out where it came from as a bearded man leading a Rottweiler on a leash comes into view. I will not bite the man running, walking his dog. But I guess we could. The dog barking could get his attention. Throw a small rock at the window. We don't even know whether or not he's at the window. A bearded man leading a Rottweiler on a leash. Do we just feed? You know what? Let's just feed. Num 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 num. As you turn towards the man with the dog, D'Angelo gives you a worried look.
Kid?
Shushing him in with a gesture, you plunge into the shadows and crouch behind a well-trimmed hedge. True to his word, D'Angelo follows your lead, though he doesn't seem too happy about it.
You best not be thinking what think you're thinking about.
You tense up, waiting for the man to get closer. When he does, you spring from the darkness, grabbing both of his arms and sinking your teeth into his neck. His blood gushes into your mouth, thick with surprise and laced with just enough fear. It's all so quick, and yet so sublime. The man goes limp. His best friend does not. The dog goes off on a barking spree that would make a dead man cover his ears. You tear away from your victim, ready to let the beast loose on the hapless canine. D'Angelo, however, is quick to curtail your murderous appetite. The detective approaches the animal, looking it straight into the eye. He mumbled something under his breath, an oddly melodic whisper. Mesmerized by the chant, the dog grows quiet and lays on his back, allowing D'Angelo to pat his belly. Suddenly you notice lights turning on in some of the houses. D'Angelo gives you an angry look and points to the unconscious man in your arms.
Get him out of sight, now!
Heeding his advice, you hoist the man over your shoulder and carry him to the nearest bush. Just as you're getting up, a very unassuming and slightly unshaven man in a turtleneck approaches D'Angelo. He doesn't seem happy to see him. Are you fucking insane? I mean, I know you are, but this is nuts even by your standard, D'Angelo. Glance over to D'Angelo. He looks somewhat embarrassed, stretching the back of his neck, clearly trying to find the right angle to play this. You want nuts? I show you nuts. No. Sorry. We needed to get your attention. You must be Larson. Sorry about the fuss, but we needed to get your attention. By feeding right next to my house. What the hell is wrong with you? Get the hell out of here. Relax. I didn't bleed him dry. Unlike your friend, Ed Redhook. Is that supposed to mean something to me? D'Angelo, what's going on here?
It's about the Red Hook murders. I think one of yours is responsible.
Bullshit. The Duskborns not enough trouble. Duskborns got enough trouble just staying alive out there. What could possibly make them openly violate the Masquerade?
Desperation. The killer's been leaving messages. Whoever they are, I think they know something. Something they can't share with just anyone. I know it seems far-fetched, but it's the only way this puzzle fits together.
Nah, I don't buy it. You're reaching, trying to find a scapegoat. Get in your boss's good graces. Word gets around, D'Angelo. You think I don't know who you're working for? Then help us clear your name. Then help us clear people's name. What have you got to lose? Everything. I've been a thorn in the council's side for a while now. This is just the excuse they need to get rid of me. Exactly.
What if it turns out one of yours did it, and you sat on your hands to protect him? You think the council won't jump on that?
He looks off into the darkness, pondering his options. He lets out a heavy sigh. Look, I'll ask around. Consult my sources. If it turns out one of my own is responsible, they will face justice. In the meantime, keep your deductions to yourself. I have enough trouble as it is.
Deal.
Good. Now if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to my family. And with that, Larson retreats to the elusive safety of his home. You decide it's best to move along. You walk a couple blocks in utter silence. Even D'Angelo's mumbling seemed to have taken its backseat. Oddly enough, you find his newfound reticence somewhat unnerving. What is that word? I don't know that word. Let me look up. Reticence, maybe, would be my guess how to pronounce it. Reticence. Reticence, close enough. The quality of being reticent. Okay, reserved. Not revealing one's thoughts. Okay. The more you know. Finally, the Nosferatu stops and turns towards you.
Hell of a night. I don't know about you, kid, but I sure could use a drink. Something warm in a tall, sweaty glass. But first, let me tally your score. Let's see now. Oh, God, we did so bad. It did make a good first impression. I like someone who can talk themselves out of a tight spot. talking sheep. Bullets not so much. You hold your own at the crime scene, nothing I hadn't figured out on my own, but hey, we can't all be professionals. Finally, when the situation called for subtlety, you managed to avoid unwanted attention. Discretion is what separates a private dick from just any old dick.
I mean, I guess yeah, because if we had thrown a rock, the dude with a dog would have noticed, no?
All in all, you did fine. Not fine, but not bad for your first case. Don't let it get to your head. I'll be in touch. Let me know if you hear from Larson. Oh, I'll let you know if I hear from Larson. Be ready to meet me at the office.
He starts to walk away, but suddenly stops and turns back towards you.
And bring a notepad. Every good assistant should have one.
Rest. Good. Not long after you wake up, Gregory knocks on the door of your apartment. Hey, I came to pick you up. Miss Langley wants to see you. He looks handsome. Look at you, Gregory. Nice. Well, my freedom was good while it lasted. Do you know what she needs me for? Any idea what she needs me for? I'm not in the position to ask. He smiles politely. The car's waiting. Shall we? You wrestle with the same thoughts as a few nights ago. Maybe you should just leave. Disappear. Let Sophie find somebody else to employ. Then you remember the anarch thug being cut down by Kadir and how close you were to the same fate not even a week ago, and that it might still happen if you step out of line. You follow suit. As with your previous visit here, Sophie seems not entirely present when you answer. Her eyes are locked onto one of the paintings in the room. You're pretty sure it was here earlier, but she's behaving as if she's seeing it for the first time in her life. Entirely entranced. Gregory clears his throat. Sophie turns to the both of you. A bit of irritation on her countenance that soon gives way to a pleasant, warm smile. You here? Excellent. Thank you, Gregory. The driver leaves and she turns her attention to you. I hope you had a good few nights and made some new acquaintances. But I have to say, I'm happy to see you, Karen. Thank you for coming. The change in mood of the room is so sudden and startling it makes you consider the true power of empiric charm. Rationally, you know you're being manipulated, but you don't even care. Her eyes, her motions, her entire body language all feel 100% genuine and expressing legitimate interest in you and your well-being. I have a request for you this night. I need you to find somebody for me and make a delivery. She points to the statues at the side of the room. You notice a plain-looking flash drive lying on the edge where the inanimate archer's bow touches the pedestal. The man you'll be looking for calls himself Kaiser. He has eyes and ears all over New York and is rare for something to happen here without his knowledge. I'll need you to take this flash drive and bring it to him. In exchange, he will give you an address, which I need to know as soon as possible. You're about to ask what's on the drive, but Sophie proves to be one step ahead of you. Oh, don't worry about the contents. They are encrypted, a precaution for if the data falls into the wrong hands, but it won't. Correct? She gives you a smile that, just a handful of nights ago, would make you feel like melting. Oh, and Karen. Kaiser is a Nosferatu, that twisted, deformed lineage of kindred. He is old, and his age has made him even more paranoid than others of his clan tend to be. He holds many havens, and changes them often. From what I've gathered, he or one of his servants should be found at the park on Coney Island tonight. We have to identify them somehow. I'm told Kaiser has spent many of his nights these past few years being driven around the city in a black limo. Maybe keep an eye out for it. Let's smile again, but shorter. Anything more on Kaiser? Anything more you can tell me about Kaiser? Which, by the way, just means emperor in German. Well, it's like definitely one of the there's a weird not really working extent like conversation between like noble ranks, but it's like basically I don't know, it's like not really a king, it's not an emperor because we have imperator. I don't know, it's like up there definitely. He's been here a long time, about as long as I have. He got into a lot of trouble for exchanging information with both the Anarchs and the Camarilla in the past, but ultimately got off scot-free. As his web of information proved to be strong enough to shield him from the consequences of playing both sides. Some say that's the best proof of his abilities. In any case, be careful when talking to him. He's very particular about everyone's etiquette except his own. Good night, and good luck. She flashes one last smile at you and turns back to the painting, clearly done with the conversation. You pocket the flash drive and head out towards Coney Island. It takes you the better part of an hour to reach the lights and sounds of the Coney Island amusement park from the city. The drive is almost pleasant this time of night. Thank God for Belt Parkway. There are plenty of people here tonight, but nobody who stands out as a traveling purveyor of secrets. Again, if they did stand out, it would be kind of pointless, right? Nothing to do but figure out the right approach. Search for signs of Kaiser. We would not ask around. What the fuck? There are plenty of nooks and crannies to investigate around here, but if Kaiser frequents this area, there has to be some sort of clue to grab onto, right? You spent a good hour snooping around, eyes peeled for the black limo Sophie mentioned, or any sign that a Nosferatu or any vampire has their haven around these parts. Zilch. Annoyed, you turn back towards the lights of the amusement park, only to find a man standing in your way. Wearing an oversized jacket, he has had the air of a junkie or a dealer about him. Who knows what he's got in those pockets. You lost? I'm not lost. Just sightseeing. No, I'm not lost. Just taking in the sights. Sure you are. He looks at you intently, like he's trying to guess your real purpose here. Get out of here before I kick your ass. Sure, after I ask you about Kaiser. You're asking for it. You're asking for it. Don't push me. Look who's talking. He doesn't take that well. He reaches into his pocket, produces a gun. You rush him. Bang! The bullet hits you, but you barely notice. What would be a debilitating wound for a mortal is just a scratch for you. Shame about your clothes, though. Takes a bit of brawling. The man's stronger than you'd expect, but using your powers you're able to overcome him. With a few hits to the jaw, the man passes out from the pain. Searching him, you find a fancy phone that doesn't look like anything readily available on the market. The phone's locked, but a recent smudge on the screen gives you a rough idea what the combination might be. You get it right on the second try. There's just one number in the phone book, unlabeled. You dial it and hear someone pick up. The voice is like a rusty pitchfork scraping against gravel.
Jackie, you're messing up my snuff session here. It better be something big.
I have something for you from Sophie. Hi, I have something for you from Sophie Langley. Care to come pick it up? Silence. Not even a sound. The call ends. You try calling again, but the number's blocked. Nothing to do but wait to see if he shows up. Not 15 minutes pass before a black limo stops near where you're waiting. One door opens, an invitation. The inside of the limo used to be a luxury lounge, the kind with a stripper pole and a bar full of alcohol, but it currently has none of that. Instead, there are monitors and consoles. There are dozens of displays, each one showing something different. Surveillance camera footage, stock market quotes, television news, emails, tweets, silent movies, lo-fi footage of a gory torture session. You wonder if the limo's owner couldn't focus on anything while surrounded by all this visual noise and then realize there's nobody there. Or is there? A man blinks into existence on a leather-covered couch, attempting to maintain something that approximates a regal presence. You're 100% sure it's Kaiser. Surrounded by dimly lit computer screens, his features are even more ghastly than you imagined. All sharp angles of twisted bone, mangled flesh, and crooked teeth. He bears them in an awful parody of a smile. Suddenly, somebody grabs you from behind, twists your arm, and pushes your head against the car's roof.
Got him, boys. I have him.
The Nosferatu chuckles.
Congratulations, dickweed. Could have done that before you gave away the fucking phone. Just let them go already.
But... You're going to make me repeat myself, you thick motherfucker.
Let's go. You take a look at him. The man is confused and clearly hurting. Flashes you an angry stare, but obeys his boss's orders to the letter.
What are you waiting for? A formal invitation? Get in the car. We have some talking to do.
He looks fancy, though. Jesus Christ. The door closes behind you.
So, Langley, I'm guessing you've got something for me.
You reluctantly pull the flash drive from your pocket and slowly pass it to Kaiser. He plugs it into a USB port on the arm of his chair and displays the data on one of the screens that happen to be turned away from you. Looks like corrupt, but he does look like a corrupt politician. Oh my god. That happens to be turned away from you. It takes him about a minute to access the data.
Do you people think I am? I saw this footage a week ago.
He removes the flash drive and throws it back at you in disgust.
Tell Sophie the deal's off. She wants her address, she can give me something else.
Ask him how you can make it up to him. I'm sorry this proved disappointing to you, Mr. Kaiser. Can I do something to make it up to you? Yeah, we were not gonna use our powers on someone who's like as old as fucking Sophie. Or older. He seems genuinely impressed.
Now, that's what I like to hear. Yes, in fact, I was just about to mention it. I have something in mind. We'll talk again soon. You do that for me. The address is yours. Now, would you be so kind as to get the fuck out of my car?
I'm pretty sure you're done here. You get out, close the door behind you, and the car immediately starts backing up. The opaque window slides past you, and soon the limo is on its way. Kaiser's lackey is nowhere to be seen, so you make your way to your car and drive back, wondering what tomorrow brings. Tapping on the window, a small greyish bird flying off, a small piece of paper. Still, prospect, ASAP, Tam. It's been a while since you heard from D'Angelo. Maybe he's busy sticking his nose where it doesn't belong, or maybe he's pissed off the wrong people and is now rotting in a ditch somewhere. Either way, now's a good time as any to check up on him. No, we haven't heard from him, but our wife wants us. So we have to call. We have to go. We have to follow the call. As you open the blinds, you're able to spot a small greyish bird flying off into the night. Looking down, you notice a small piece of paper on the windowsill. Prospect. ASAP. Tam. Third time's the charm, you think to yourself as you once again cross the gate of Prospect Park and head for Tamika's haven. To your surprise, you find her out in the open, sitting on the lawn, surrounded by a host of woodland creatures, birds and squirrels mostly. Oh my god, she's a Disney princess! The creatures each patiently await their turn as she flicks seeds at them. It looks almost whimsical, in a twisted sort of way. How are you holding up? Hell of a week, huh? How are you holding up? Well enough, all things considered. She scatters the remaining seeds onto the grass and hops to her feet. I've been doing some digging. The Inquisition has a safe house up in Manhattan. I think that's where they're keeping him. The scarred one, I mean. She was a fairy. Yeah. I want to pay them a visit. Kill that thing and as many of those says-I bastards as I can along the way. Isn't that a breach of the Masquerade? Is it really worth it? It's really worth it. I know you want revenge for your sister, but at the very least, it's a clear violation of the Masquerade. Yeah. And that's the least of our worries. Throw in a legion of armed goons standing in our way, and an all-powerful vampire as the cherry on top. But there's more to it than just revenge. I think it can help me find out who I really am. I know it sounds corny, but I can't really explain it better than that. Trust me, I'm not taking this lightly. It's just something I have to do, with or without you. Does Raoul know about this? I don't think she'd like that. It's like I don't have much choice. Oh, what the hell? I'm in. Oh, what the hell? Who wants to live forever, right? I'm in. Me too. He emerges from the shadows a mere few feet away from you. Son of a gun finally managed to sneak up on you. Tamika eyeballs him as he gets closer. You've seen that look before. She's clearly asserting her position, but this time it comes off as a formality, rather than an actual challenge. How long have you been there, Raoul? Long enough. I'm still not buying that whole scarred one bullcrap. But taking a bite out of the Inquisition's collective ass is just too good to pass up. I want in. Believe it or not, just be ready for it. Call it Scarred One, Sandar or the Tooth Fairy, just know that it's very real and very dangerous. Fine. Consider me fairly warned. Fairly. Anyway, now, can we move this along? I'm itching to kill me some SIs. Fox. Tamika? Tamika, you got an opinion? Yeah. Guess I know who the alpha is around here. He should come with us. He's got the right to be here. To see the scarred one with his own eyes. Plus, my brother can be a pain in the ass, but he's one hell of a fighter. There you go. Tam's seal of approval. Also, it's not because she's the alpha, it's because it's her operation, and she gets to decide who's coming with. Especially if it's about her brother. It's settled then. Let's go. Fucking finally. And with that, you leave the relative safety of Prospect Park, steeling yourself from things to come. Okay, sure. As you get closer to your destination, you get the sneaking suspicion that Kamika's been pulling your leg. Following her lead, lead, you take a turn from Broadway into Fort Tyrant Park. Doesn't seem to make sense, you think to yourself. There's only one spot between here and the Hudson River. But it can't be. Can it? Sure enough, as the stone facade of the cloisters come into view, Tamika motions at you to keep out of sight. How the hell was this well-known tourist trap a hideout for the Second Inquisition? Isn't this place a tourist attraction? Wait. Only during the day. At night, it serves as a staging ground for the Inquisition. If my sources are to be trusted, and they usually are, they brought him here for what they call processing. Doubt. They'll keep him here for long, though. If we want to get to him, it's now or never. As if on cue, a group of armed guards walks out of the museum pushing a gurney with a large steel container on top of it. As they wheel it out in the open, a truck approaches. The operatives start preparing to load the crate onto the vehicle. You scan the area, trying to take a head count. Tamika beats you to it. I count at least 7. Probably more in sight. We should do these quietly and take them out one by one. Raoul frowns. I say we go in guns blazing, figuratively speaking. If there are more inside, let them come. The more the merrier. No. Why don't I talk to them? Hey, let me talk. How about we just speak? How about we speak? Part of me is like, yes, because... okay, honestly... I can distract them, no? Let's just chill. Okay, you know what? Why not? Why don't I talk to them? How would I try and talk to them? Maybe I can get us in without raising hell? They both look at you. There's no other way to put it. Like you are a complete and utter idiot. I can do it. What? I can do it. They look at each other. You want to talk to the Second Inquisition? That's the plan. That's gotta be the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Offense intended. Tamika raises an eyebrow, giving you a look that, well, calling it patronizing would be the understatement of the century. Give me a chance. Hey, I can be pretty persuasive, alright? Just give me a chance. Yeah, we're not doing that. Okay, so it's either sneaky sneaky or stabby stabby. Okay, let's go stealthy, sneaky sneaky, I guess. Tamika's right. We should get in quietly. Take them out, one by one. Tamika nods in silence. Fine. Then let's do this already, before you two bore me to final death. You split up, aiming to cover as much ground as possible, sticking to the shadows you advance, keeping track of one another's progress. You hardly even notice as Tamika takes out the first guard, not a peep out of him. Trying to keep up, Raoul kills the one on to your left. He's sloppy, takes as sweet as time bleeding the guy out. With his dying breath, the man lets out a yelp, drawing the attention of one of his comrades. With the guards fast approaching, you ponder your options. Slice his throat with your fangs. Yes. As the guard walks by, you leap out of the shadow and use the sharpest weapon you have on you, your fangs, to slice his throat open. With his windpipe severed, he lets out a silent gurgle as he expires. Carefully, you lay his dead body on the ground. Looking to the side, you notice Raoul looking back at you. He nods, looking almost semi-impressed. 3 down, 4 to go. You keep a steady pace, moving across the courtyard, picking off the guards one by one. Tamika does her part, 3 to go. Raoul gets messy again, at least this time he's quiet. With only 2 of them left, you pick one of them for yourself and gesture at one of your fellow ferals to take care of the other. Tamika's quieter, but Rhodes closer. Which one will you choose? Tamika. is our wife. Duh. You wave your hand at Tam, pointing at the final target. She nods and starts making her way towards him. Suddenly, by virtue of sheer luck, he turns around just as she's about to pounce. His scream is quickly muffled, but still loud enough for the very last guard to hear. As all 3 of you approach him, the dire reality of the situation hits him like a ton of bricks. Paralyzed with fear, he keeps shifting his aim from you to Tamika to Raoul. He is severely fucked and he knows it. And since you're standing closest to him, you might as well do the honors. Time for just desserts. You walk over to the quivering mess that mere minutes ago thought himself the toughest of the tough. Before he can react, you slap the gun out of his hands, lean in and smile. Hi. Half a second later, your fangs are already halfway to his windpipe. The blood tastes sour with a hint of cowardice and regret. Could have gone with a bang, chose to go with gurgle. Oh well. With the SI operatives taken care of, you turn your attention to the container sitting in the middle of the courtyard. Using your combined strength, you make quick work of the steel door. As you walk in, the moonlight from behind you illuminates a twisted figure huddled on the floor. It's hard to believe that the thing lying before you, beaten and tortured within an inch of its unlife, is the same creature you fought back at the cemetery.
What the fuck is that thing?
It's the boogeyman. And what happens when you lose control? It's what happens when you lose it, when you let the beast take over. His lips move silently as if searching for the right words. He looks to you, then turns to his sister as if waiting for a sign. For a moment, Tamika just stands there. She looks down at the scarred one. The once fearful boogeyman whose very mention could strike terror in the hearts of her tribe, now reduced to a whimpering pile of flesh. Finally, she turns to you with a look of childish innocence mixed with confusion, and she looks back at the scarred one. You can tell she's lost.
Damn. What the hell are you waiting for? Let's kill this thing and get out of here.
You sure? Something doesn't seem right. He's just a beast that got beaten. I think we should take that choice away from her. Something doesn't seem right. Are you sure? That's what you want? Look at him. It's as if he's dead already. In all ways that matter anyway.
Are you fucking kidding me? We came all this way just to back down now.
Stop talking. She's quivering, clenching her fist. You can tell she's about to reach a decision. Look at him. Is it worth it? Look at him, Tam. There's barely anything left. Is he really worth it? Suddenly, the very air around you seems to thicken. You look over to Tamika. She's not quivering anymore. She looks down at the mess of flesh and fur curled on the steel floor. Her voice is calm and quiet. No, he isn't. You both turn to walk away, then suddenly you hear a painted yelp, followed by the sound of a body dropping to the ground. You turn back to see Raoul standing over the dead husk of what was once the mighty scarred one. One fluid motion, the boogeyman's neck has been twisted off his shoulders.
Raoul, You had your shot, sister. I took it for you.
I hope you don't regret it. Standing outside the steel container, the 3 of you take a moment to gather your thoughts. You look at one another. the blood staining your hands, clothes, and faces. In the pale moonlight it appears black and shiny, like a fresh ink stain on a fresh sheet of paper. Without another word, you head back towards the city lights. The journey back takes longer than it did the other direction. With bits and pieces of the Second Inquisition still stuck to your clothes, you decide to play it safe by sticking to back alleys and cutting through the darker corners of the city. Tamika stays several steps ahead. Both you and Raoul are quite content to follow her lead. You can tell that these last few nights have taken a toll on her, but not necessarily in a bad way. She seems stronger somehow, confident, more in tune with herself. Soon the awkward silence proves unbearable enough that you're willing to risk making small talk with Raoul. I'm still not sure what happened back there. You know, I'm still not sure I understand what happened back there. You wouldn't. It's not something one of your lineage could understand. Our lineage, we have a special relationship with the beast. We can either let it control us or become attuned to it. It's a constant struggle, marked with difficult choices. I think Tam just made one of them. And so did I. Pondering what you've just heard, the rest of the trip barely registers. To your surprise, you suddenly find yourself back at Prospect. Tamika keeps walking. She strides through the park gate like a queen of old, returning after a victorious conquest. You want to call out to her, but Raoul stops you with a gesture. Not yet. Give her some time to process all this shit. She'll let you know when she's ready. And hey, you did alright. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're still an asshole, but yeah, thanks. He smiled at you. Wonders never cease. See you around. And with that, he follows his sister's footsteps. A weird smile creeps onto your face as you melt into the New York night. Time passes. It is almost morning. We will rest. You're walking down the street towards your haven. In some other town, the sidewalk would be deserted this time of night. In New York City, there are plenty of passerby going about their business. It's easy to be paranoid when you're a vampire surrounded by a crowd of humans. The kindred have many enemies, and all those enemies have one trait in common. They're invisible, indistinguishable from normal humanity. Other vampires, hunters, all look like people. Is that old man just a tired restaurant worker, or a kindred thrall tailing your movements? Are the officers idly waiting in a patrol car ordinary cops, or Second Inquisition specialists looking to end undead threats? This kind of thinking leads to madness, but you can't shake the feeling that someone is watching you. It's not the first time you felt like this. Whatever this is, it's probably something you have to take care of. Best case, someone is tailing you. Worst case, you'll be attacked and killed. Unfortunately, being undead has its limitations. The sun is coming up soon, and you'll burn to a crisp if you stay on the streets. You reach your haven and settle in for the day. Disconcerted by the idea that someone might know where you sleep. As you wake from your slumber and emerge from your haven for the night, you notice a familiar face on the other side of the street, standing on the corner and looking straight at you. It's Kaiser's lackey, whom you met recently, Jackie. He nods to you, encouraging you to approach. He still looks kind of rough after your last brawl, but the damage to his face has clearly mended. His hands are out of his pockets, though, a sign of goodwill.
That's close enough.
What the hell do you want?
The boss sent me. He's got a message for you.
He produces a crumpled piece of paper from his jacket pocket and hands it to you.
Read it. Memorize it. Then give it back here.
It's a letter. The paper might be just a page ripped out of a spiral notebook, but the writing on it is exquisitely detailed and deliberate. It reads, "Time to square your debt with me. Go to the wine shop at 232 Mulberry Street and ask for the 1821 Special Reserve Donut." I will need to write this shit down. This one, and then no, this is information I would never remember. Okay, I feel we don't need to write down the address, but 232 Mulberry. Hello, Auroris Amorilus.
I hope I said that right.
Wait, you're Danny's friend. Hello, hello. Street, and we have to ask for 1821 Special Reserve Donatello Negro Amaro. Something like that. When they tell you they don't have it, say you are a Fidel. Fuck's sake. There we say Fidel Servitor. Amelia G. Those exact fucking words, and make sure you get the G right. Okay. You get a bottle. Just take it and leave by saying grazie. Leave. That's how you spell leave. Leave. Grazie. Don't ask how much it is or anything else, just walk out. When you have it, come back to Jackie boy here and let him know.
You done? Memorize that shit and hand it over.
I totally did. What's the hell with all this cloak and dagger nonsense? Didn't think your boss was a letter guy. What's the rush, buddy? I don't see what's the rush is, buddy.
Hey, it's your funeral. I can stand here all night and even enjoy a nice sunrise while I'm at it. No luxury you have. Just hand me the bag once you're done.
I think that was more his voice. You note the phrases and addresses, and address mentioned in the letter, then hand it back. Hand it back to Jackie. I love if things didn't get properly proofwritten. He immediately reaches for a lighter and burns the letter, putting out the ashes with his boot.
So, yeah. When you do what the boss asks, come back here so I can tell you where to go next. I'll be in that alley over there, so find me when you have the item. Whatever it is. I don't know. The boss made it extra clear that I shouldn't care. So I don't. See ya.
Proof of no AI work, I guess. He shuffles away and leaves you to pursue the lead from the letter. Time to pay a visit to La Nolita. You arrive at the address mentioned in the note. Not counting local restaurant patrons, the street is mostly empty at this time of night. But curiously, the wine shop is still open. Inside, a small middle-aged woman with curly hair stands behind the counter in front of a wall filled with wine bottles. Okay, without looking, I will try to get this, but I always have my cheat sheet. There's a door at the back of the room with a small table and chair, occupied by a man in a black faux leather jacket, with slick, combed back hair. Blim blim blim. He's reading a newspaper, but pauses as a little bell rings when you open the door. He takes a sip from a small steaming cup, then gets back to his broadsheet.
Good evening. How can I help you?
Well, no, we will just be direct. I would like a bottle of the 1821 Special Reserve Donatello Negro Amora, please. Let me check our stock. She seems to be looking through a database on the laptop sitting on the counter. She puts on his polite smile. I'm afraid we don't have that one at the moment, sorry. No. Recite the phrase, straight and simple. We're just no bullshit. I'm a fidel servitor de la famiglia G.
Ah, in that case, let me see what we have in... if we have any in the back. Wait here, please.
The woman leaves the counter and goes through the doors in the back. The man by the table puts down his newspaper and takes another sip from the cup, washing it down with a gulp of water from the nearby glass. Tries to hide it, but there's no doubt he's watching you. About a minute passes. Well, we remain silent and wait. You remind yourself of what Kaiser wrote in the letter and keep quiet, patiently waiting for the woman to return from the... Wait, he said anything about being quiet? He did? Wait, what was it? Go to the blah blah blah. Those exact fucking words and make sure you get the G right. You'll get a bottle, just take it and leave. Don't ask how much it is or anything, or just walk out. When you have it come back, well, it technically doesn't tell anything. Like, according to this, we could just do, like, chit-chat, whatever. Anyways. The man finishes his drink and starts doodling on the newspaper, his eyes starting to you ever so often. The doors to the back of the store open and the proprietor emerges with a small, unlabeled, squat bottle of crimson liquid. She gives you an apologetic smile.
Scusi, sorry for taking so long. Turns out we did have it.
She offers you the bottle and you reach out to grab it, but she retracts it.
You do know what this is, don't you?
I'll be taking this. Thank you. There's no reason why we have to... So, we were told to just take it. Why does she have to make this more difficult? You'll get a bottle, just take it and leave by saying grazie. Don't ask how much it is or anything else, just walk out. I'll be taking this. Thank you. You focus your blood and immediately see both of the people in the shop focus intently on you and what you're about to say. I know exactly what it is, and I'm the right person to give it to. The woman gives you the bottle without hesitation.
Grazie.
Deciding you've pushed your luck far enough, you nod and exit the store, then take a brisk walk to your car. Nobody follows you as you leave. Nolita. And drive back to your apartment. It takes you some time to find a parking spot, but you finally get out of the car and start looking for Jackie. Not far from where you parted ways, just under 2 hours ago.
Got the goods?
Sure do.
Cool. Stand by, just gotta make the call.
Takes a few more steps into a narrow space between two buildings and takes out a small high-tech phone you saw him carrying the last time.
Hey boss, yeah, they have it. Where do you point them to? Okay, yeah, I'll tell them to go there right away.
Puts the phone back in his pocket and turns back to you.
Willets Point, half an hour, so you better step on it. See you around.
Without a flippant salute, with only a flippant salute, Jackie starts walking down the street. You make your way back to the car and drive. You had to push the speed limit to make it on time, but you're here, Willets Point. It's quite a change of scenery. The place is a post-industrial dump, the nearby stadium notwithstanding. You stop your car once you realize that if you go any further down, the potholes will kill your chassis. You step out into one of those gashes in the asphalt, splashing in the ankle-deep water. Kaiser's limo is nowhere to be seen. In fact, the whole place is pretty much deserted, other than the apartment proprietor of a lonely bar, a middle-aged woman who's just locking up the place. Let's wait for Kaiser. You stay near your car and decide to wait. Kaiser must be on his way, or if he's not, and is instead playing one of his games, then you're not participating. You've got what he wants. Let him come to you. The bright lights of the car pulling over down the road some 10 minutes later catch your attention. It's a black limo. Kaiser is finally here, it would seem. Also, I didn't drink because there was also the bar proprietor, so it felt kind of like weird. Same as last time, the car door opens, but nobody comes out. You know the drill. This time Kaiser's visible when you look inside. You sit down and close the door behind you.
So, you pulled off without a hitch then? Give it here.
You hand the bottle over to the Nosferatu. He uncorks it gently, takes a whiff, and puts the cork back in.
Yes, that's the stuff. Good job, kid. Consider your debt paid. Oh, yeah, and also, take this. It's what Langley wanted.
He passes you an envelope with what feels like a thick card inside. Thank you, Mr. Kaiser.
Yeah, I'll send Jackie over if I ever need anything else from you. How about that? Time for you to get out now.
He waves you out of the car. With the envelope in hand, you get out, back onto the torn asphalt in decrepit surroundings. The limo slowly drives away. Finally, you can return to Sophie and bring her what she wants. Gregory lets you in. You hear a shrill, unpleasant laugh, and you realize Sophie's having guests over. Thomas, Arturo, you met in Elysium a few nights back. That shriek is unmistakable. Ah, Karen. So glad to see you. Tell me, did you two have a chance to talk previously? Thomas speaks up before you can. Why, yes, of course. And such a good first impression you made, too. Miss Langley clearly did the right thing by taking you under her wing. I'm sure she thinks so, too, don't you, Sophie? Why, of course Of course you do. Of course. Well, I believe I must be going. I'll be sure to let Prince Panhard know your thoughts, Miss Langley. Word for word, or as close as I can remember them. I appreciate it, Thomas. You two enjoy your night now. Good night, Sophie. Karen. Greggy boy. He gives you a sly smile. Sophie's driver opens the door for Arturo, and the guest steps out with a single wave of the hand towards his host and you. The door closes. He's quite the character, isn't he? Yes, quite, but he has his uses. Thomas's clout in court, and access to many juicy details. I may Eve, have a good rest of your stream. Selamat malam, Moicha. Thank you for the hat pad. Selamat tidur. Have a good night's sleep. Sweet dreams. Mwah. You also get a good night kiss. Thanks for hanging out. Take care. Bye-bye. Thomas has clout in court and access to many juicy details on everyone, from the prince to the lowliest primogen. It's useful to have him on your side, even if his eccentricity requires some patience. Speaking of patience, you have been putting mine to the test lately. Did you manage to contact Kaiser and acquire what I asked for? Yes, but I had to do another job for him first. Yes, I have it, but the data you offered was old news to him. I had to do another job for him before he would give me this card. She retrieves the envelope from you. I'm sure he did. I do hope it wasn't too much of an inconvenience. I had to retrieve a bottle for him. Maybe go on an entire separate escapade to retrieve a bottle of wine from a store in London. No, Lita. I had to use code phrases and whatnot. Wine shop. Code phrases. That degenerate pest! She's visibly agitated, but calms down and smiles at you. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure that whatever Kaiser had you do, it'll blow over. She opens the envelope and looks at the card. You notice the same lettering you saw on Kaiser's note from before, but can't see the details. Her eyes widen. Yes, excellent. I need to call in some favors. I will likely be busy for the next few nights. You have my permission to show some initiative, my dear Charge. I'll contact you soon. With that, Sophie ushers you outside and you're left to do with the rest of the night hours as you like. Who are you? Somebody watching me. Sometimes it feels like somebody's watching me. It's been some time since the Kendrick historian will no doubt refer as the Battle of Cloisters. Still no words from Tamika. No. Been a while since you heard. He told us, just like her, that he will contact us. We can look into the person spying on us, or we go to Mr. Bloodmage. Ooh, I'm kind of interested in both. Time to confirm your suspicion, or go to the Bloodmage. It looks so intense, and this looks like a woman. Let's find out our stalker. And next night we can go, unless we get too many quests from these two, we can go with him. Somebody's watching me. Someone is following you around. Has been for a few nights, maybe longer. That can't be a good thing. The only question is what to do about it. Provoke the stalker to appear. Yes, we will not tell Sophie, because she needs to see that we are, we have agency, and we can do stuff ourselves. Provoke the stalker to appear. You venture out to the street with the goal of letting your stalker know you're aware of being followed. It's time to stop this ridiculous charade. It's raining outside, and as you step onto the street in front of your haven, you wonder whether that'll help you. Will you be able to see the footprints of your stalker in puddles on the ground? I'm not sure where to start. You slip a few bills to a homeless man and chat up the guy who runs the local bodega. Both of them talk your ear off about strange characters hanging around, but none of their stories seem right to you. Walking the streets, you're convinced by turns that everyone you see is an enemy agent out to get you, and that your stalker has decided to take the night off. Frustrated after a couple of hours of useless searching, you cross the road without looking where you're going. A courier on a motorbike zooms towards you and has no time to brake or swerve as you suddenly step in front of him. For a split second, your eyes meet those of the man on the bike, and you both know you'll collide. You'll get hurt. Something hits you, pushing you forward. You tumble, flying to the sidewalk as the courier zooms past. You feel a weight on your back, catching a glimpse of something. A person. Female, you think. And then she disappears. You could spend a couple of hours trying to find the woman who's been stalking you, but in your shriveled, undead heart, you know it to be futile. She's gone. No. But She's set on us. First date confirmed. Let's rest. Oh, who the fuck are you? A nosy reporter. There's a sleazy reporter from a gossip magazine sniffing around Sophie's Haven. She could use your help with the problem. I guess we help Mom. Before we go there, yeah, we have not heard anything from the two of them. Hey! Go the fuck away from her. The street lights filter into the apartment in a stark white glow as if someone were shooting a movie outside. The art pieces displayed a tasteful expense, entirely fitting the image you have of Sophie. It feels as if 1,000 sins have been committed on these premises, most of them under her benevolent hospitality. Sophie comes to greet you as you enter the living room, shaking her head. You understand that people judge me based on how you dress, don't you? Sophie looks at your clothes as if resigned to your sartorial limitations. I try to dress inconspicuously. Because of the masquerade. That's very sensible of you. I suppose I should commend you for that. Sophie walks to the window and looks out, the streetlights playing on her features. She reminds you of a queen contemplating the unfortunate limitations of her subjects. You'd think that a vampire, at least, as a vampire, at least, you wouldn't have to worry about the vultures of the press. Unfortunately, when you have power and ability, there are always parasites trying to feed on you. Is there a reporter after you? Yes, a terrible, persistent creature. Sophie steps away from the window and settles down on a sofa, a wine glass with a red liquid in it. Blood, treated as not to spoil. You've become good at noticing the scent, even from a distance. She doesn't offer you any as you cautiously sit down across from her. This awful man has been stalking my apartment with a camera. He's gone through my trash. Talk to the neighbors. Please be dear and explain to him that there's nothing for him here. Is this about the masquerade? That's a big deal for us, right? Indeed. You're learning. This must happen often. How do you usually deal with it? Everyone has their own way. Sometimes the problem goes away with a bit of money or sharp words. Other times you need something more. Do you know anything about the reporter? Man, woman, young, old, anything like that? All gossip reporters look the same to me. Time for you to go. I have business to attend to. You leave the apartment as Sophie disappears into another room. You don't have a clear idea of the games she plays with the city's mortals and immortal power structure, but she always seems to be making a move. Outside the street there's a slight, warm drizzle. The kind that gets under your clothes and makes you want to take a shower when you get back to your own haven. No reporters immediately jump out to you. Investigate the area, I guess. You start with the basics of investigative work. You ask the proprietor of the bodega around the corner, the homeless man sleeping in a nearby doorway, and the doorman of another building whether they've seen anyone strange. Detective work produces results. You get the description of a man who sounds like a reporter. Older, overweight, pasty, and a bad physical condition. Professional camera. Once you know what you're looking for, it's not difficult. You spot a man who matches the description and follow him. You enter an alley, a dark, dingy space between two tall buildings. Once upon a time, a place like this might have worried you, made you think of mugging and violence. Now it's clear that the most dangerous thing here is you. The man you're following seems to realize this too. He holds his camera in front of him like a shield. its heavy objective resting on his paunch. With a start, you recognize him. You remember the face, the shaded sunglasses from a picture next to a byline and some trashy paper someone thrust in your face at a company party. His name is Frank Dougherty, Dougherty, well, I don't know. And he'd taken pictures of one of your investors filling up a sex worker at a nightclub. You'd been there too, and the funny thing was that Dougherty showed in the photo was just the tip of the iceberg. After all, work hard and play hard was the order of the day.
Hey, don't go around scaring people like that.
That's definitely how he sounds now. I recognize you. You're Frank Dougherty. I recognize you from that thing. You're a fake reporter, right?
I'm a real reporter, damn it.
What are you reporting on?
I'm not sure you can help me.
Well, perhaps you can. You live here.
Working on a story about a local resident. Her name is Sophie Langley. Everybody knows her in the high society circles. She's read it. Pretty as a picture. And there were a lot of pictures of her throughout the years. That's the thing, in fact. Look at this.
Frank pulls out his phone and starts showing you pictures. Some have been downloaded from news sites, while others are photos from the society pages of newspapers from the past decades. All show Sophie. She has different clothes, hairstyles, makeup, names, but the face remains the same. They're all hot. Other than that, I'm not sure. All hot. Other than that, I'm not sure.
Come on. Look at the face. It's always the same.
You must have a theory about what's happening.
I have a theory or two, but before I print my theory, I need facts to back it up. 3 words. Extreme plastic surgery. All the celebrities do it. Only her doctor is better than the rest.
Look critically at the photos on Frank's phone. Hook me up with a miracle doctor. You looking for a doctor in an alley? You'd think the world's best plastic surgeons working out on this alley.
Okay, fine. I don't know what this is about. So, how would you explain it?
It's a hoax? Ancient medicines? It's a hoax. Have you considered the possibility those pictures are a hoax?
Sure, anything can be a hoax, but I dug up those old papers from the archives myself. I got to have something usable.
Leave and destroy your research. You look Frank in the eyes. They are red behind his shaded glasses. Veins popped from years of neglecting his body. Suddenly he seems soft, easy to manipulate. His will nothing but plaster crumbling under your boot. Go home and destroy your research on Sophie Langley. As a vampiric gaze takes over Frank's mind, he feels less than a person and more like an automaton. A machine you can program. Perhaps this is why older vampires are set to think of humans as nothing but animals. How can you consider someone as thinking person with free will when you can override them at any moment? Frank is mumbling, fondling his camera, inching around to you, the entrance of the alley. Inching around you to the entrance of the alley. He looks sad and worn as he goes. A man who used to be something, now just a shell. It feels almost embarrassing to use the power of your blood on someone so weak. At least you're pretty sure you'll stay away. Da-da. Oh, there we go. Okay, that was half that. And now, we still have nothing. Maybe it's time you dropped. No. We only drop by Wounded Warsong, the gift that keeps on giving. We go to It's a Kind of Magic. We don't go to church. Scrap, fuck him. We go to... Oh god, what's his name? He was very popular, like something Sin? No, Angel? Chris Angel! Oh my god, he's like Vampire Chris Angel. Agathon. You arrive at the address given to you by Sophie. A small bookstore smack dab in the middle of Broadway, of all places. What really catches you off guard, though, is the store's display. From what you've heard about the Tremere, they are infamous for their ties to the occult and the mystical. And yet now, looking at the oddball collection of items in the display window, it feels borderline satirical. The books here cover everything from Ayurvedic practices and homeopathy to wellness and self-motivation. The vaguely amusing juxtapositions don't end there either. You notice a copy of Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible tucked behind a cheap smiling Buddha. A scientific journal on hematology sits next to a teen-oriented pamphlet on the blood type personality theory. A number of religious and quasi-religious symbols, lockets, pins, and various emblazoned paraphernalia are haphazardly strewn across the display and between the tomes. Before you even open the door, you can smell the burning incense and hear the corny Far East-tinged music seeping through the crackling speaker mounted above the entrance. It's far more quaint than what you expected from what Sophie told you about the so-called warlocks. It doesn't look like they have much interest in impressing outsiders. Then again, if there's anything you've learned these past few nights, it's that appearances can be deceiving. At this time of night, the shop appears to be closed. Regardless, you ring the bell. You hear someone shuffling around inside. A brief moment later, the latch slides and the door is pushed open just a few inches. A tired-looking blonde in loose clothes appear in the crack. She seems confused, like you just woke her up. She lets a yawn, scratching at her tattooed neck. Finally, she squints in your general direction. Her pierced lip curves into an awkward smile. Is Agathon here? Is Agathon in? I'm looking for a guy named Agathon. Is he around? The girl gives you a suspicious look over, but opens the door. She takes a few steps back, and you hear footsteps coming from behind a floral curtain that covers the back door. A spectacled, smart-looking woman emerges and looks straight at you. Come in and follow me. Just don't touch anything, please. She's pretty. Oh my god. You follow her through the store. Inside, as expected, the stuffy air smells of sandalwood, frankincense, and a dozen other aromas. The woman leads you behind the curtain and through the back door, onto a rickety staircase. A flight of steps takes you up to the second story. You instantly notice the change in decor as the tacky New Age bookstore gives way to something resembling a cross between a library and a workshop. The smell here is strong, too, but much more layered. You're not sure what to make of it at first, but with each whiff, it becomes apparent. Blood. The aroma, though subtle at first, soon becomes overpowering. It takes you a moment to adapt and focus. I don't think you know who you're speaking with, so an introduction is in order. My name is Ailing Sturbridge, and I'm the High Regent of the Chantry of the 5th Barrow, of the 5 Barrows. So, we have Regent. Oh no, guess we start with Chantry. A traditional name for the Tremere headquarters in its city, usually part shelter, part library, and part laboratory. And Regent, every Chantry has a Regent. The Regent is responsible for the tutelage of all Tremere in their domain. While the Regent may not teach them personally, she must ensure all Tremere are being educated. The Regent's other duties extend to the clan's protection in the domain, and sometimes its representation on the Primogen Council. Nice. You are Karen, correct? I have to say, you're lucky the ward outside the building is only there for notifications tonight. Otherwise it would have been quite unpleasant. To answer your question, Agathon is here, but he's hard at work, and I wouldn't want to disturb him. Am I to understand this is a social visit? High Regent. Sounds important. How do you know who I am? Wait, how do you know who I am? Well, for one thing, knowing who's who in the city is one of my duties as High Regent. But more importantly, you've been on the mind of many a kindred since Langley took you in. It's quite a precedent, as I'm sure you know. First, under Prince Penhart, and for Sophie to be the one to do it. Curiouser and curiouser. Still, I'm sure you haven't come here to look for dirt on your sire. That would be unwise. I heard good things about Agathon. I heard some good things about Agathon. Thought I'd drop in and see how much of it was true. Appealing to our vanity. How very original. You better step up your game, fledgling, or New York will eat you right up. Suddenly a man enters from a side room. He doesn't even look at you, lost in his own thoughts. I have it, Aisling. I think I know how to find it. He catches himself as he notices you. His face turns sour. A visitor? Yes, we were just discussing you, in fact. Is that so? Sophie Langley recommended you. Let me introduce myself. My name is Karen. I've been told you might be interested in teaming up. Teaming up? He seems very confused by the notion. What for? I could use your knowledge. I could assist you in your work. I could use your knowledge. Well, I could use your knowledge. I'm new here, and a scholar like yourself could teach me a lot, I imagine. You're not wrong. He turns to Ailing. High Regent, may I ask your advice on this? Aisling looks at you with nary a sign of emotion. I believe that you have far more pressing matters to attend to at the moment, my child. That is my intuition as well, High Regent. It's settled then. I would kindly ask you to leave, fledgling. We have many matters to discuss, matters not meant for undiscerning ears. Both of the warlocks look at you expectantly. Apologies for any inconvenience. I may have caused you. Good luck with your work. You make your way downstairs. As you pass the blonde, who now seems to be napping behind her desk, Agathon reappears behind you. Wait. Come back up for a minute. Somewhat confused, you follow him back to the workshop. Aisling is leaning against the wall, watching you both with a keen eye. Listen, I tend to work alone. I'm not used to socializing, but he hesitates for a moment. He speaks again, it almost comes out as a mumble. I could use some help tonight. Would you be interested in teaming up? Why don't you start by giving our intern here a brief explanation of what it is you're after? Agathon gives Ailing a hesitant look. The woman nods approvingly. Encouraged, he turns towards you. A member of our clan disappeared without a trace a handful of nights ago. While the High Regent investigates if any foul play was involved, I have been tasked with recovering her research notes. If there is anything left to recover, that is. I may have an idea where to start looking, and I suppose this is where you come in. I truly wish to help. I could use your assistance tonight. Right now, in fact. Given the time we've just wasted on idle chatter, I could leave him. We should leave immediately. Who's the missing person? And the missing kindred. Who is she? A single glance at Ailing is enough. You can tell you're not getting an answer, at least for now. We're after her research. That's what you should focus on. These people aren't in the habit of making things simple. Facing layers upon layers of secrecy, you can only hope that what lies beneath is the real deal. Now, I'm heading out. Are you coming or not? I think this is where we'll save. I will save and exit. And then I will see who is there to raid. Let's find out if there is even someone to raid. No, not this, not this. No, shut up, me. Ah, rah. Let's see. We could raid Miri Arachnia again. Where is she? She might have overtook us. Who's playing Bloodlines? Or I just end. I'm kind of like, oh no, okay, she just arrived in, oh no, wait. Huh. Okay. I will just end, I think, because going to Miri would mean potential spoilers, and I see no one else really online right now. There would be an art person, but I don't feel like hanging out today in a stream even a bit, so I will just say good night. Sweet dreams, take care everyone, thank you for hanging out, and I will see you on Tuesday.